Hey guys, welcome here today at Pensacola on this gloomy afternoon. Cloudy, 83 degrees, a little warmer, but it's cloudy out. There is a 7 mile per hour wind versus the 1 mile per hour wind we saw on the sunny day we had yesterday. So, interesting day here, a little hotter. We'll keep the cars from running a little too fast, but the cloudy weather will still make things less troublesome for these drivers as far as sun beating down on the cars go. As a reminder, 16th to 23rd in each race today, those drivers are eliminated from the rest of the competition.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So as I mentioned, it does not matter where you finish in the top 15 in this race. It's just you're moving on, and you should be happy you're moving on. As I stated, this is 5 10-lap races yet again. Now, we're shrinking from 5 groups to 3 groups for the next set of races. It's going to be 3. Hang on. Let me double check this. I think I'm mistaken here again. Okay, so I messed up my math. I messed up my math terribly. So I will figure that out after this event, because I just realized, oh hey, if I'm only doing 3 25-car races, the top 3 locking in would only be 9 cars, not 15. So what am I thinking here? So I will redo that math in my head here. Let's see, 26 to 42 is 14 cars. Okay, so what it'll be is in the next event, or the next round, it's going to be top 5 advancing from each of the 3 races, because I goofed. I forgot I had shrunk the field from 171 to 132, so it's going to be the top 5 in the next day of races. So tomorrow when we have our 3 20-lap, 25-car races, which will have cautions on, those races will take the top 5, and then those cars will start anywhere from 18th to 32nd, and then the 2 LCQ races will also be top 5. So we have not had any wrecks yet. Remember, 16th to 23rd knocks you out of this event completely. We're going from 115 drivers to 75 before we start doing advancements again. So honestly, watching the 4 wide is a lot more important here, because if you wreck, you're guaranteed to be out. Now you're borderline 5 wide back here. Actually, they are 5 wide, or maybe they're not. Oh, there's someone's wrecking though. Henry Sanford. Brad Markle went around too. Terrible luck. Markle, Sanford, Warham, Baran-Oscus again with problems. Cole Deaver, Ibrahimium. Ibrahimium is the 6th man out in 18th, but I think he's got enough draft to catch up. Shearer and Bright right now, that could be going down to Todd Mack though. Ibrahimium will catch. Ibrahimium keeps his hopes alive, but Deaver, Baran-Oscus, Warham, Sanford, Markle, they are done. Unless something very strange happens where this pack somehow gets 4 to 5 wide and they wreck. The big thing to keep mind of is that Warham is basically running the same pace that TJ Lawson ran in one of the heat races that really messed up the finishing order. So we'll see if he gets caught at all. But Brad Markle, Sanford both went spinning. So very bad luck day here. One Pontiac, two Pontiacs, Chevy, Toyota, Chevy. As Corey Scott going to the race lead here on Jake Galloway. So Baran-Oscus tumbled in her first heat race, and now today, it looks like she's going to be eliminated after slowing up for an accident. So this pack, as we stated, is now 18 cars instead of 23 cars. Staying up at the front does increase your chances of not falling to the back. Todd Mack has already made it to the front after being in elimination range. So there's only 2 more spots to worry about right now, unless we have a wreck, because you know they are going 4 wide. The 4 right, 2 rows deep here, because remember, there's only 2 more spots right now, but everyone else, that first wreck wasn't a really bad wreck. You know, everyone got back going. They didn't waste a lot of time. Oh, this could be a wreck right here. It's Chris Wheeler in the 005. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't get turned by Bob Markle right there. Lap 7, 4 to go. See, how slow is Warham? I know he's not that close to Sanford. There it is, 7 seconds off pace. It's going to be really close. It's going to be close if this lead pack catches the 9-10 or not. Right now, Oskin in the 44 of JT Hanley. Oh, this lap it's Torres and Galloway. And that photo finish for 16th place will be huge. Meanwhile, up front, it's Ibrahimian and Terry Lee. And remember, winning this race does nothing. Winning this race does nothing. So you see there is Warham as Markle passes him. Baran-Oscus and Deaver would be the best drivers to chance not getting eliminated here. As Ibrahimian leads, he hits 2 laps to go. Three wide there for second. JT Hanley up at the front. Jeff Bright sliding up on the bottom. Right now, back 2 here. We've got Alex May and Todd Mack. 2 laps to go. These drivers are going a lot faster than they were in the heat races, so race pace has increased by about a second, 2 seconds a lap. As we're coming to the white right now, it's Brad Anomia and Todd Mack. Todd Mack was 3rd fastest in his group. He does not want to get eliminated. Ace Rogers now falls to that 18th place. Does he have time to get to the bottom before this race ends? The 9-10 is at 36 seconds back. Let's just take a quick gander here. Oh, they're not going to catch him. So we're going to go back to our last 2 places in this field running order. It's Ace Rogers and Brad Anomia. Anomia is going to pass Terry Lee. Ibrahimian falls to the back 2. Ibrahimian's out. Between Terry Lee and Ace Rogers. And Terry Lee stays in. Terry Lee barely stays in. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. It was for 15th. Top 15. So Terry Lee is out. Oh man, why am I so off? 16th to 23rd, not 17th to 23rd. What's wrong with me? So Terry Lee is actually out. Brad Anomia just got in there at the end. So Terry Lee, Ace Rogers, Delon Ibrahimian, Audra Branauskas, Cole Diva, Henry Sanford, Brad Markle, and Tom Warham, they are all done. And that'll do it for me here. Jeff Bright won this non-advancement race. So these top 15 drivers will be back in Group 1 of the next round of races tomorrow. They'll be joined by 10 other drivers from Heat 4, 5 from Heat 4, and 5 from Heat 5 from today. But that is it for this one. I will see you guys for the next elimination event. It's time for elimination race number 2. Just want to say apologies again for screwing up. 16th to 23rd gets eliminated, and it's top 5 in the next round of races tomorrow, where we have our 3 25-car races of 20 laps. Top 5 will advance and start anywhere from 18th to 32nd.
All right, well, the fun doesn't start until we ask our drivers a question. Are you ready? Drivers, will you please start your engine?
So on the pole for this elimination race is Connor Hurley, who I don't even recall seeing in Heat 2. Danny Lloyd is up here. He was very fast in the heat. Tony Green was close there at the end. Jake Rogers was, I believe, as well. Tim Randolph was up front at one point. Matthew Perez came to the front near the end. Ben Crouch as well. And that is it. So we did see a wreck in elimination race number 1. We'll see if, just like Heat 2, if these drivers go clean to the finish. Well, it's time to find out. Green flag is out. So lap 1 already done. So much jostling going around. These cars are literally flying. I think 240, close to 240 miles an hour is not safe. So I'm kind of praying for a clear day come race day. I think 100 laps of these speeds is going to be too much for these drivers to handle. Joshua Hyatt's near the back. Okay. So reminder, 15th and above is the safe zone. As while Hyatt's back here, let's do an onboard. We haven't done that all weekend. Hyatt is actually losing some ground. I don't know if he's going to catch up here or not. This is not promising for the driver of the 8 car. Go to his cockpit. Let's see what he's working here. This is not boding well for the 8 of Joshua Hyatt at all. But if they wreck, at least he'll be able to avoid it. Joseph Brummer's back here, Ben Crouch, Connor Hurley, who was the pole sitter for this race, surprisingly. 3 wide, some 4 wide. Hyatt gone. Just his car was like, I don't want to draft today. Sorry for the silence. This happens sometimes. I don't know. I guess when I do an elimination race, I'm not. It's hard to figure out where is 15th place here. Better off focusing on the leaders for now. Keith Rich, Connor Hurley somehow got all the way back to the front. It looks like this group will go clean again. Poor Joshua Hyatt never had a chance to draft in this pack. Hurley and Rich pretty even there, side by side at the start finish line. Yep, Hyatt is about 7 seconds back now, so he will need a wreck if he does not want to get eliminated. There's already 3 to go, and once again, it looks like we're gonna go green in group number 2. This streak is very interesting. Hurley's gonna clear Keith Rich. Halleck coming up to the middle, maybe trying to just get a little motivational boost by winning this race. Jake Rogers in the 98. Also moving to the front as I'm going to try and figure out where the heck 15th is. 22nd, 21st, 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th, 16th, 15th is right about here. It's 7 cars I've got to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is now the 08. Yeah, this is just so tricky. Keith Rich is on borderline, going to get eliminated here after leading this thing. Oh, Kaz McKella and Matthew Rodriguez were really close to wrecking there. This is a guy we didn't talk about in the heat race at all. Matthew Rodriguez, new to this channel. Is he going to get eliminated here? I think he's just on the inside right now. See at the start finish line, white flag. Yeah, he's just out in 16th. Nearly door banging there with the 210 of Joseph Brummer. Oh, they are 4 wide up here though. That's Carter Friesen and Tim Randolph in the 007 helicopter camera time, boys. Leading the race is Xavier Lawton. Oh, there they go! Tim Randolph around the huge one! Oh my goodness, Matthew Perez in out of nowhere. Who's gonna advance now? The whole field just died. Xavier Lawton's gonna win. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. TJ Dent's gonna pit. That's 11. Matthew Rodriguez, 12, 13, 14. 15th is Friesen, depending where Dent hits the finish line. And Dent did get to the finish line, so Friesen is out. Hard lick, though, for the 31 of Matthew Perez. Dent will retire and get 12th place. And the standings are official: Friesen, Randolph, Hyatt, Lloyd, McKella, Hurley, Sachi, and Perez all out of this one. The Hyatt was just too far back. I wonder if you got a piece of it. 17 seconds is pretty far back. Just writing these down. 70, 43. So Danny Lloyd, who was really fast in the heat race, does not make it. Matthew Perez nailed that wall, though. That was pretty violent. So winning the non-advancement race was the 33 of Xavier Lawton. So kind of interesting to see someone we didn't even talk about once again win a race. Kaz McKella done in the competition. Connor Hurley. Marcus Sachi was very close in pretty much 2 or 3 instances to wrecking in the actual heat race. And Matthew Perez really nailed that wall, so we're going to take a look at that. So let's see, TJ Dent crossed the line a good 3 seconds before Friesen, who stayed on the track. But so let's take a look at this accident. I think the crazier thing is that I saw this coming because they were off center here. Friesen and Randolph are going to go right up into Jake Rogers, who did not get eliminated. And then this is just on from here. I mean, there are so many cars piling up right now. You see Joseph Brummer went all the way down the track. Watch Matthew Perez get turned up the track by Danny Lloyd here, and his car never loses grip, and he just accelerates up to Hurley, straight up into the wall. I mean, this was a violent impact. Look at the freaking right side of the car's off the ground. There's Dent. There's the 210 of Brummer. We see keep going. Matthew Rodriguez, Henrietta Fitzwater, Halleck. Did Hyatt pit for something? Hyatt was just coming off of turn 2 when this all happened. He had lost a ton of time. So yeah, Friesen was the last one to get through there. So we see Sachi, Randolph, Danny Lloyd, Perez, McKellick, Hurley, they all missed out. These drivers kept going though. You see, they're still piling in right here. Let's just play this full out. There goes Friesen. All these cars back here were done. Oh, look at Sachi adding insult to injury, slamming into the 31 car. And then, so let's see. When did Dent hit the line? There's Dent hitting the line right before Fitzwater. And then, let's see, what speed is Halleck at right here? 198. Oh, Friesen didn't have the power anyway to catch, even if he had another lap. But I mean, what a wreck. Yeah, see, Hyatt was all the way back here. Never had a chance. That's it for elimination race number 2, and I'll see you for the 3rd one. All right, it's time for elimination race number 3. So far, we've taken out 16 drivers between the first 2 events. Very vicious wreck at the end of Heat 2. Skittles were everywhere in turn 3. Okay, let's admit this is kind of a bad joke to make if this was real life and that person was hurt, because the angle and the speed gained, I mean, that's not, physics don't work that way in real life, though. You don't not lose grip, go straight up the track and accelerate, you know, that's not what happens. But, you know, Tommy Roberts, who got screwed in his heat, is on the pole for this elimination race.
Y'all come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
So Roberts on the front row. I don't know how many of each manufacturer have been eliminated See, Terry Lee was driving a Honda, I believe. Ace Rogers a Chevy. Delon was a Chevy. Audra was a Pontiac. Deaver was a Pontiac. Chevy, Toyota, I believe, was Warham. Friesen was a Toyota. Randolph was a Pontiac. Hyatt was a Toyota. Lloyd was a Honda. McKellar was a Honda. Hurley was a Toyota. Sachi was a Ford, I believe, and Perez was a Pontiac. So that's what we're looking at right now. Let's go through the field real quick. Anderson, Downey came close to advancing. So did R.J. Reynolds. Kukulon was up there. Salado was up there at one point. McHugh and Braxton both spun on lap 2. Never had a chance. They're going to hope that doesn't happen again today. And Lawson was the car who held up Roberts, who was very strong the whole race. And Roberts got a really good start over Max Anderson. Holy crap. My headset keeps kind of like falling off here. I don't know. Let's see if that's So Roberts is going to borderline lead for one lap here, and then he's probably going to get passed. And apparently not. So reminder, 16th to 23rd is eliminated. And this is the last group where we will not be moving people. As a reminder, out of the 3 25 car groups, it'll be mostly group 1, 2, and 3, the original groupings we had from qualifying, where 5 cars from group 4 and 5 cars from group 5 each go to groups 1, 2, and 3. And that will add up to 25 all the way. So we're gonna watch where there's cases of 4 wide. Now the earlier they wreck, if anyone's involved and keeps going, the better, because if it's a small amount of cars, there's still a chance they wreck again. But if they wreck later, there's less of a chance of someone staying on the track and holding up the leader, like we saw in the original Heat 3. Was some door contact up here between Kukulon, Anderson, Downey, and Mathis Wells. This Walmart Honda was not talked about in his heat race. So it's funny when you do these elimination races, you start seeing names that weren't even talked about in the actual heat race. Like, for instance, I don't remember talking about Tom Warham in Heat 1. And in Heat 2, Connor Hurley was nowhere to be found. So it seems so far every heat race has had one car that was nowhere to be seen. Right now, Sam Young up front. He was in the front at one point in the actual heat race. We're already on lap 4, and they are 4 wide up the front. See if that ends between Ty Dent and Bryant Beltran. Beltran does clear, but they're still 4 wide here in the back. And they're not even. Oh, Salada and Jack James are going to keep it clean. Four wide is the thing to watch. Kukulon, and I think everyone's going to be good here. Going to go back to 3 wide here on lap 5. And pretty much just watching these cars in helicopter is the best thing to do. Strictly 3 wide right now, single file up at the front. Remember, winning this doesn't do you anything. Just don't want to be 16th or worse. As we see, Tommy Roberts made it back to the bottom. Top 4 is single file pulling away. So interesting to see. It's Casey Waz, Simon Bloomfield Gardner, and Sam Young. Bloomfield came close to advancing. Group 5 is the race I'm really curious to watch because it's got our two guys who tied 2.5 years ago. Like, are they gonna get eliminated? Because TJ Hanley ended up finishing 4th in the heat race. He came very close. We have a wreck. We did not have a wreck. They've pulled away so much, it's absurd. Four laps to go, so pretty interesting to see cars just pulling away from the back. You know, if this keeps up, we will not have to worry about an accident. Honestly, shouldn't even be worrying about it right now. There's barely any 3-wide going on. Let's just watch the lead. Izzy Tommy Roberts there on the bottom. Riley Leto, one of our few female drivers. Sam Young's kicking some butt here in this elimination race. Now the sister car to the 230, driven by Cody Smart, did advance in what was heat number 4. So just to note, so we've got 3 laps to go. Just writing some stuff down for my next thing. As Tommy Roberts is coming back to the lead. Still no signs of any wrecking, just kind of double file right now. So can Tommy Roberts win a non-advance race? Will be interesting to see. Still side by side with Sam Young, pretty even. Still side by side, RJ Reynolds coming up on the bottom. Roberts and Sam Young still battling as we are going to come off the corner to the white flag. Now I've written all that down, and now we can watch the end of this thing. So we go to the back. We're 3 wide all the way. Fruta Salada at the back. Kevin McHugh's at the back. Matthew Brown. Troy Lawson. Levi McIntyre. Riley Leto. Ty Dent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think Ty Dent's going to get to the front here in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last car out right now is Bryant Beltran. It's going to be between him and Gardner to the start-finish line. It's going to be Gardner in, I think I did my math right. Yep, 16th Bryant Beltran. And there it is. Bryant Beltran, Casey Waz, Levi McIntyre, Riley Leto, Fruta Salada, Troy Lawson, Matthew Brown, and Kevin McHugh. They are all out. Sam Young wins the race. That gets him nothing. But those are your 8 drivers eliminated, and I will see you for elimination race number 4. It's time for elimination race number 4. 8 more drivers were kicked out. Beltran was a Ford, Waz was a Chevy, McIntyre a Ford. McIntyre was a Toyota. Leto was a Dodge, Salada was a Ford, Lawson was a Toyota, Brown was a Toyota, and McHugh was a Pontiac. On the pole for this elimination race is Danny Lynch, who was in the accident in her heat race. So we'll go through the rest of the lineup as the command will be given here in a minute.
Let's get ready to rumble!
So with that said, 10 more laps of action. Heat 3 went accident-free. Can you believe it? I'm still waiting for a heat race with 2 accidents because I mean it's probably most likely going to happen in one of the LCQ races because those LCQ races are 30 cars each with caution flags on for 30 laps. So if it's going to happen anywhere, it's probably going to be in those LCQs, which should be expected. I mean, there's only 10 more spots open at that point, and only the top 5 is going to advance. As a reminder, the next races tomorrow will be top 5 in each of the 3 races that are advancing. We've got 3 20-lap races on tap for tomorrow. This is the second to last race for today. Looking at the forecast for tomorrow, looks like clear skies and hot temperatures. So there's no signs of any wind movement coming on, so make sure you pack that sunscreen. It's going to be a scorcher. So Annie Lynch, as I said, was in an accident in her heat race. So hopefully that does not happen to her here today. As Joey Mitchell is going to pass. As a reminder, winning gets you nothing. Top 15. That's where you want to stay, is in the top 15. Now in the last heat we saw them single file out and just pull away, and then everyone in turn went from 3 wide to 2 wide and suckered up as well. But I am going to be looking for that 4 wide. I want to be on top of the wreck when it happens. I do not want to have to take another replay incident, though we will for all case scenarios. If it's like a giant wreck like we saw in Heat 2, I mean, that was the biggest wreck we've seen all weekend. As I'm recording this, the Honeydew Donuts 250K is about to go live on my YouTube channel. And actually, speaking of that, I'm going to pause this real quick and be right back. Sorry about that. I realized that YouTube volume was on and I had it open in Chrome because I want it to be playing, but I don't want the audio to come through. So sorry for that random pause. I should have thought of that before I did this elimination race. But you know, hey, this video has so many mistakes in it, you know, it's like, it's good. I make mistakes, okay people, you know, I'm not perfect, I'm not a robot. Just seeing a lot of 3 wide. This one, no one's falling back. Now that's still weird that how in Heat 2, so we had a big one on the last lap and Joshua Hyatt fell to the back from the beginning. And he still didn't make it. He ended up finishing 18th. So we're mostly just staying 3 wide, so I'm just going to go up to the front. Joe Jefferson, we saw, had a good chance of winning the race. The 001. Brad Cheston was in an accident in his heat race as well. Eli Bright we saw near the front. Trying to think if there's anyone. Zachary Fitzwater was near the front, and he, I think, got a piece of that initial accident. There's someone we haven't talked about. Scarlett Rich in the 80 now. Brother Keith was not eliminated in his heat race. Father Andrew is in the final group, so he will try not to get eliminated. I will most likely do a starting grid type thing on paper. That way I can go through starting lineup that way. So the video should be live right now. It's actually counting down, 42 seconds. So we're halfway through this elimination race. It'll probably, green flag will probably come out at Papyrus by the time I'm done recording this. Scarlet Rich up front. Still only 3 wide. Not seeing any 4 wide. Oh, is that borderline 4 wide right there? Nope, still 3 wide. So seeing a lot of clean racing now. I wonder if that wreck in Heat 2 kind of opened the eyes of these drivers to be more careful. There is a little 4 wide right there with Ferrati, but Wyatt Anderson gets clear on the bottom, and that'll reset them to 3 wide. Oh, we're going to have some 4 wide right here between Lynch and the 66 of Chris Wilson. And they're going to go over the track, and the Rob Evans violent impact. Wilson up and over. Riding on that wall is the 66 of Wilson. And Lynch, again, is taking out. Rob Evans involved. Fitzwater. And they're wrecking some more. Oh, my goodness. Brad Lewis barrel rolling down the back straightaway. All the way to the inside wall. Butcher and Mendez came off the corner and they were wrecking again. And the violent accidents I did not want to see just occurred. I don't know what happened to Brad Lewis, but we're going to have a replay after this one. Holy crap. So we've got 12, 13, 14, 15 to Butcher. No one else is on track. We literally already know who the eliminees are. This is insane. I had seen that Mendez and Butcher were back here, and it looked like Tremblay was too. And they were gonna have to race their way back up, maybe wait for something to happen. But we don't have to worry at all now. This is all for ego. The top 15 has already been set. Man, oh man. So Fitzwater Sr., Eli Bright, Chris Wilson, Annie Lynch, Rob Evans, Brendan Brown. Who was the 150? Brad Lewis, and the 001, Brad Cheston. They're all done. They're eliminated. So we're going to watch this to the end, see who wins this race. Now, nothing's rigged. I don't rig anything. I don't believe in that. The ratings you saw in the sign-up video were the ratings everyone has here. But when someone signs up a name that's hard to pronounce, Antone and Charlie Boys, I'm glad this is not an advancement race because he's probably going to get a top 3 here. If he makes it in his actual heat race, he makes it. You know, it'll happen. But like, I still feel like I'm saying it wrong. Charlie Boys. Is that really how it's said? Charlie Boys? Like, it just seems like a meme. I'm sorry. I'm sure. Is that an actual name? I want to look it up right now. Meanwhile, he's going to have a side-by-side finish with Wyatt Anderson for this win. And he's going to get it. Antone and Charlie Boys with the win. It is a name. French origin, Canada, secondary surname, Jola Boys, Joyful. Okay, so it is a name. It's French. That's why I don't understand it. Charles Boys. Maybe, is that how it says? Charles Boys? I'm going to start saying Charles Boys, because I don't know how else to say it. So the race is over. And we're going to take a look at these wrecks. Okay, so here we are. Spectator camera. This is between Wilson and Lynch. Saw this coming. Rob Evans had nowhere to go right here. Right on corner entry, this occurs straight up the track. Now, this is some violent impacts. My goodness, Wilson's car went straight on its lid. Fitzwater, you see, had nowhere to go. And Wilson just kind of launches over Lynch's car and then hits the catch fence. And he's just riding along. We're probably going to have to do an onboard here because this wreck was absolutely terrifying for Chris Wilson. And that took out those 4. Up ahead, something else happens right here involving Brad Cheston, Brad Lewis. They're still on the apron after getting by the accident because it was right at the front of the field. Oh, and Eli Bright, who was in this, just gets into the 001's right rear quarter panel, and up they go. Hard impact for Cheston. You see Lewis sliding down the racetrack. And Tremblay just slices through here. And then Brendan Brown has nowhere to go, and boom! Up and over goes Brad Lewis once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, and he is in the air, man. 7, 8, 9, 10, inside wall, 11, 12. So much momentum and energy in that car when he got slammed. Like, that's one of the most violent wrecks I've ever seen at this track, and the first where I've seen them go to where the road course opening is. Let's take an onboard or two here. This is insane. Inside the cockpit of Chris Wilson. My goodness, what a ride. On board with Brad Lewis for the entire exchange of accidents. You think you made it through, you think you're going to have a chance to survive, and then, oh my goodness. What a violent accident. Oh man. Hope he's okay. I'll see you guys for elimination race number 5. It's time for the final elimination race. Out of those eliminated in Heat 4, we've got Fitzwater Sr. in a Ford, Bright in a Chevy, Wilson in a Toyota, Lynch in a Toyota, Evans in a Dodge, Brown in a Honda, Lewis in a Ford, and Cheston in a Chevy. Andrew Rich is on the front row in this one. Yepes in second, and here's the rest of the order. There's TJ Hanley, your defending winner.
Let's get ready to rumble!
There's Jonathan Sorlin, who finished second, and there's the car that won it. Was the 99, it's the 990 this time, driven by Robert Young. So we'll see if the car of the defending winner can stay alive, and if the defending winner and the guy who tied with him can stay alive. Lucky for them, Heat 1 had a small wreck, Heat 3 went wreck-free, and the only very bad wrecks we've seen have been in the even heats, 2 and 4. Big wreck in Heat 2, one car up and over another car, and then someone barreled violently down the back straightaway. So Chris Wilson and Brad Lewis are both okay. I mean, they had some wild rides. Wilson went up and over. For those who didn't see it, you can rewind. Wilson went into the wall with Annie Lynch and then went up and over on his lid, and then his front end slid on the wall after catching the catch fence in turn 1. And then after that wreck, Brad Cheston was turned by Eli Bright up into Brad Lewis, and Brendan Brown came out of nowhere, hit Lewis is still sliding down the track car in the door at an angle, and he barrel rolled about a dozen times down the back straightaway very violently. So hopefully that doesn't happen in this one. We're already seeing some 4 wide. Remember, TJ Hanley finished 4th in his heat race, so close to advancing. So we'll see if he can just survive, because you cannot advance here in this race. There's Nathan Ormond pull up in front of Rich. That's actually the car Rich drove in the event the first time back in 2016. It's still crazy to think that I did that 2.5 years ago. I mean, time flies. I'll try to make this a yearly event. Though I think I will probably go back to the original format. 330 car heat races and maybe 333 car heat races. Probably 342 car heat races, so that would be 342 car heat races. What would that be? 42, 84, 126? 126 cars, maybe. I'll figure out a number to still do the front row. What would be the good number there for the front row? And have, let's see if we do 30 car, 92 cars, 101? 92 probably. Probably do 92 cars next time, and top two will lock in on the front row, and then we have the 330 car heats, and then two 30 car LCQs. Or no, that wouldn't work. Would it work? Actually, yeah, it would work. It would work. Top 10, top 10, top 10 for the heats, and top 5s for the LCQs. So that's probably what I'm gonna do next year. So we got a little 4 wide here on lap 3. But they are cleared to go. So there's Robert Young. Preston Plord, who was very fast in the heat race, didn't advance via the top 3. He's up here in the front. We're already at lap 5. No signs of any accidents gonna occur so far. As we watch, is anyone in elimination range right here? TJ Hanley's right here. And he just fell into the top, or he just fell out of the top 15. Sorlin and Robert Young, though, still up ahead. Sorlin in the middle, Young on the top. Still 3 wide, no 4 wide anywhere to be seen. Oh, right about here maybe. Mark Brown's thinking about it, and he's going to decide not to. So still 3 by 3 by 3. Come and we'll be halfway done with the last elimination race of the day. As stated, tomorrow is looking like clear skies, hotter day, no wind, in what will be day 3 of racing action. So it should be a nice Friday afternoon. And everyone's going to take another week off. The LCQs will be the Friday after, and the main event will be on the Sunday. There is 4 wide up there, just a wee bit. Are they good? They're good. Now they are 4 wide. TJ Hanley still stuck in the back here. Robert Young falling back too. Sorlin's up here in the middle. As Nathan Orman leads the field. Time is running out. Now, as we mentioned, Andrew Rich, son Keith and daughter Scarlett have both advanced. Well, they've avoided elimination. Can Andrew do the same? He's in pretty good place right now. TJ Hanley, we see on the bottom, he did the same thing in the heat race. Stayed in the back till the end. Now he's on the bottom. He's going to try and make his way to the front. Can the same be said for Robert Young and Jonathan Sorlin, who have fallen to the back? Young's going to get to the bottom here at 3 to go. Now, if we have a wreck at the front, it could get chaotic. TJ Hanley's in good places though right now. A lot of triple-digit cars still in the field from this race. TJ Hanley moving to the front. Is he going to try and win this thing? Robert Young on the bottom. He's moving to the front. Sorlin's on the bottom. Can he get back inside the top 15? 2 laps to go. Hanley and Young are both on the very bottom lane. Sorlin got himself stuck in the middle, though. Plord got on his inside. Will Jonathan Sorlin avoid biting his nails in the main event just because he's going to get eliminated in this one? TJ Hanley in third is going to make a move. You know, you'd think that TJ Hanley has this all figured out. Third place. There's Robert Young. He's in right now. Sorlin is finally going to get to the bottom as they're coming to the white, and that might just save him. But there's no draft on the bottom. Right now he's third to fourth car out of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got to get past Mark Brown. They are 3 wide up ahead of him. Charles Sanford might be losing ground here. I don't think there's time for Sorlin. TJ Hanley just about made that 3 wide move yet again. Robert Young and TJ Hanley look good. It looks like it's going to be Zoe Fernandez winning this non-advancement race. But Sorlin's going to run out of time, and Jonathan Sorlin will be eliminated early on in this event. So devastating for the 48 team. Sorlin will not be in the main event this year. Mark Brown, Diego Yepes, Jalen Howard in the 880. I don't even remember talking about him in the heat race. Christian Russell in the 60. Charles Sanford, NRSL VP, does not make it. That might open him up to be in the booth. Andrew Rich got knocked out. I didn't even realize he was that far down at the back. So it'll be down to Keith and Scarlett, the kids, to do it, and Leo Rogers. So Mark Brown was a Pontiac. Yepes was a Dodge. Howard was also a Dodge. Christian Russell was a Chevy. I'm just writing these down as I name them off. Charles Sanford was a Pontiac. Sorlin was a Ford. Andrew Rich was a Ford. And Leo Rogers was a Honda. Well, that's going to do it for the elimination races today. I will see you guys tomorrow for next round of racing. I'm glad we had 2 clean elimination races after the violent wrecks we saw in eliminations 2 and 4. With that said, I'll see you guys later.